Oh, and for the same gentleman, welcome back today. We have this 1962 Gibson melody maker. No brakes. Fairly decent shape, except for some mildew got at the nitro finish here. We lost a strap button, and it doesn't look like it was played a whole lot. There's not a ton of fret wear. There is a lot of fret corrosion, but not a lot of fret wear. Got the vibrola, which we're going to lose. This is going to be turned into a punk rock machine. We're going to upgrade the tuners. These are 12-to-1 Gibson monsters with probably original strings. I have no idea, but they're crusty. Yuck. And bone nut, so original there. I want to, oh, string was wrapped through, poked through and pulled back through. These tuners are horrible, but it's what you got in the 60s. Let's take a look at our truss rod situation. Oh, wow, lordy. That truss rod has never been touched. It still has the lacquer on it. Oh, look at that. Never been adjusted. The lacquer overspray is still on it. Alright, so we got a set of tuners here from Gotoh. I got one set in. We're going to put the other side in. Ended up popping a couple of the bushings out, and the screws do line up kind of. I used the original screws because they the threads line up, of course. So you want to use the original screws, and they do go in, and I don't want to use the new furls because you'd have to widen the holes, and the Gotohs do fit in the original furls. So here we're going to take the old screws out of the older set. You see the treble side already done. This is the bass side. So we're going to go ahead and do that and swap it out. Now you see where I took the trim off, there's some rubber residue for where it rested, and that rubber is long gone, and it left a mark, and I got the 3 holes from the mounting of the trim. So I got myself a plaque, kind of like what you see on the Gibson hollow bodies where it says custom made. I got a custom made plaque that I thought looked kind of classy. See there? That's going to go right over those 3 holes and give you a kind of a finished look. And you'll see at the very end of the video, it just sets the whole thing right off. Self-adhesive tape on the back, and it's going to go right there. Just like that. Sorry I'm having to overdub this. I did not have the microphone plugged in or on me. So that's what it's going to kind of look like here. And we're also going to put on a Quan Badass intonatable bridge. It's a locking bridge. It's the same one that Gibson puts on the Charlie Starr Les Paul Jr. So that's one of the mods we're going to do there. Hang on for more. Okay, boys and girls, we're back with our melody maker, and I got the screws out of the pick guard. It's time for the reveal of what was under here for 60 some years. Look at that. Original caps. Original cap, original pots, original pickup. Alright, so we'll let that sit for just a minute. We have here, we have $500K cap, or pot, geez, can't talk. 2 500K pots, and I have some vintage matching tone and volume controls. I've got, I bought a couple of orange drop capacitors. Oh, there they are. Got two 22 microfarad capacitors, just need one. And we're going to pull this all out. We're going to keep the thumb bleeders, and we're going to put a new jack in. Not that there's probably anything wrong with the old jack. And we got the new pickup. Curtis Novak Classic Pickups Incorporated, hand wound. This is the Music Man P90 Stealth pickup. Let's take a look and see what's in here. Packing materials and a well-wrapped flip on our soldering iron while we're futzing around. And we have screws, and we have, aha, okay, made 10/24/25. So he just made this just for us. And signed Curtis Novak. So this under here is a big old P90 with the windings. Let's go ahead and unscrew this. So we can see what it looks like. Look at that. So we got the big old slugs and giant wind and big old bar magnets. That's a Stealth P90 that fits in the same hole as this does. So I'm going to go ahead and take this apart, put us all on pause while I do that all, and I'm going to install all the new parts in here and wire it as it is. Alright everybody, so this is what we pulled out. 500K pot, 22 whatchamacallit, capacitor. My brain's tired. I just did a bunch of soldering and inhaled a bunch of carcinogens. 500K tone pot and an old Gibson output jack. So what we have now, and here's the bar magnet that's in the little single coil output, low output Gibson pickup, which I'm going to give to the new owner of this guitar, well, the owner of this refurbished guitar, I should say. So here we have the Curtis Novak Phantom P90, and what it looks like in the inside. We kept the thumb bleeders. We have 2 CTS pots, a 22 microfarad, there we go. Capacitor, we have a, what is it called? I can't remember the brand. It's Switchcraft, that's what it is. Output jack. And everything is wired correctly. The light colored wire is your hot, the green or blue, the dark color is your ground. We go from the output leg to the first leg of the, or I'd say the third leg of your tone knob, and then your ground goes from here to the third leg, through the middle leg, soldered on all points. I don't like to bend those over because sometimes it makes not such a good connection. It's just me. Either way is fine, whatever rocks your boat. And then solder there, solder there. Let's see if it works. And the pickguard, other than where the wang bar was, cleaned up nicely. Okay, everything works, no noise. Of course, we're going to make sure there's no string noise or ground noise from whenever you touch the strings, because there's a ground wire that comes from the post that goes through the cavity to the back of the pot. We have to do that yet. So we're going to install this into the pickguard. Well, everybody, everything was going swimmingly until we tried to put the pickup in, and we got a little problem. I thought it was the electronics. No, it's not the electronics. It's the pickup screws. Yep, sure enough. Scratch mark, scratch mark. The screws are too long. Okay, boys and girls, we've got our Curtis Novak pickup, the Stealth P90, finally mounted. The screws that he gave me were too long. They were, oh, I put them away. They were 3/4 inch, and they were decking out on the bottom of the route. So off to the hardware store we went on my next day off, and we got some 1/2 inch screws, and it seems like they do the job. So I've got the pickup mounted, all wired, all tested. We mounted our custom made plaque here, and my wife is mocking me. We have our Gotoh tuners installed. We have polished up our frets, oiled our fingerboard. Pickguard is remounted. We checked our, we wired up with CTS pots and Switchcraft output jacks, tested our sound and everything. And now we're going to string up with a set of 1046 Stringjoy signature strings with our Badass wraparound tailpiece. We've measured that we kind of set our guesstimate of intonation, and we took and measured from our high E string 24 3/4, which is what the scale length is, and set our E string there with plenty of room to travel, then kind of guess where all the other saddles go. And so I'm going to go ahead and set up or string up this saddle, and we'll get you strung up. So that is up to date. I did have to put a little piece of toothpick in this screw hole because it was stripped. Whenever I went to take this pick guard out, it didn't want to come out. So I'm going to go ahead and string it up and see if we can make this thing go. Okay, it is strung up, and we have our pickup mounted. We've raised the action on our pickup. Our bridge is installed. Let me explain to you how this bridge works, because there is no information on the interwebs about it. Sweetwater doesn't know anything about this bridge, and these are only made available through All Parts. Leo Quan is no longer a company website. You can't find any information on it. There's no instructions on the interwebs. So what you do is you get this thing, and you these are toppers or lockers, if you will. So you get an approximation of where you want your bridge to be. You tighten these down snug so the bridge doesn't move. You string it up, and then you realize, okay, my string height is too high, too low, whatever the case may be. You take your screwdriver that you use for your pneumatic posts, or that sort of thing. Use a rag so you don't go screwing up your chrome or gooning out your posts. You release it a little bit. It comes with a little Allen wrench. You put the Allen wrench in, you find a hole. When these are loosened a little bit, not too much, because you will cause the bridge to tilt and fall out of where it's supposed to be. Ask me, I will tell you I know. Alright, so you can do a little bit at a time. Don't do too much. Don't ask me, I'll tell you I know. Okay, so you make your increments on both sides to get it to where you want it. In my case, what I like to see is 4/64 at the 12th fret, 5/64 at the 12th fret on the bass side. Once you get that, get rid of that, and then tighten these back down using your flathead screwdriver, big fat beefy flathead screwdriver with a claw, so you don't goon out your the tops. Okay, I'm going to let it sit and adjust, because it hasn't had string tension on it for probably 2 decades. But what we are going to do, let me just make sure that it's still in tune. Okay, so we have our melody maker plugged into our microcube amp. Turn down a little bit so we're not going to blow our eardrums out. I've got the volume at 10, I got the tone at 0. Sounds sounds like a P90 to me. That's with the tone at about 4, 5. We'll go all out here. And I found out that this is the same bridge that they're putting on the Charlie Star Les Paul Juniors. Through that little microcube, this thing sounds killer. So I am impressed with the pickup. I am not impressed with the customer service. He claims on his website that this will fit a 60s route. It does not. You have to take a little of the wood off right here. It does not fit because under here is a much larger, I showed you earlier in the video, is a much larger plate. It fits into the cavity, but whenever you go to line up your pickguard holes, it needs just a little bit more room to go forward. So you have to take your Dremel and move a little bit of material here. You never see it. It's just like, you know, a 1/16 of an inch off of this rounded area of the route, like right here, to allow the pickguard, which is like that wide, to sit in there and move so your screws all line up and everything. So we've stuck our custom-made plaque in there. It looks crooked because the bridge can't be straight because it has to be to be able to allow for intonation. Let's see what kind of relief we have. I set it at 10 thousandths of relief, holding at the 17th, measuring at the 7th, and we're at 10 thousandths. I think it turned out quite good. There's still a lot of fog and stuff that I wasn't able to polish off on the edges and stuff, but it is a 1962, but man, it looks good, doesn't it? I am going to leave these dangly strings here, but the intonation, I guessed right. Let's put it through the amp one more time because it sounds so dang good. I want to thank you guys for hanging with me while we did this and had another guitar. What was it? It was a bass. It was a Squire. Last year they were made in Mexico, I came to find out. Oh, that sounds so buttery. Oh yeah, man, I love this thing. Wow, what a guitar. That's a ton of fun, man. All right. So I want to thank you for hanging with me through all these different things that we did in the last couple of weeks, with me being sick and better again and having different instruments in here and all the different things. If you like what you see here, please hit the like and the subscribe and the notification bell. I would love you for a long time. Drop a comment on what you think here. I'm not going to bust his chops too bad. Curtis Novak, not great communication. And dude, just, you know, put the right screws in the package. If you're making this for a 60s guitar, you know, this is a 60s guitar, and it obviously is not a direct fit. You do have to make a little bit you have to make a little bit of adjustments. Not too bad, but you know, just include it in your marketing, right? That's all I'm asking. But oh boy, what a good sounding pickup. Yeah, Buddy's gonna be so jacked about this thing. It's so awesome. All right, if you're in the Pittsburgh area and you need your guitar brought up to par, just go ahead and hit us up on Facebook, Stringman Guitars, or you can go to stringmanguitars.com. You can check out my awesome website. I don't know about awesome, I did it myself, so how good could it be, right? Right. Anyhow, love your neighbor like you love yourself. Take care of the old folks because they are indeed special. Boy, is that dirty. Whoa, that's dirty. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Be good to yourself. And peace.